people like Kevin pushing the boundaries in terms of making sure that Kenya has access to this stuff and becoming independent. That no longer can we sit back and just let other guys from overseas bring systems in, disappear, and then you sit with the trouble of trying to maintain it. You guys are really going to be instrumental in being able to take this technology and apply it in your organizations. And I can tell you right now, you have the same problems that I see every single place in the world. Kenya is not unique. The primary words on people's mouths these days are, anyone want to guess? You've got to save energy. Energy, energy, energy. It's critical. No longer can we just allow plants to run. We have to be conscious and take responsibility for our factories, for the people we work with, in looking and trying to find ways of saving energy. And people like Mitsubishi Electric are prime technology providers in things like variable speed drives and using them in applications to save energy. So everywhere you see a pump or a fan that requires a little bit of control, there's potential to save energy. Because why? The power of a motor, of a fan, is proportional to, not proportional, it's a cube of the speed. So reducing the speed of a fan or a pump by 20% can save you 50% of your energy. So it's really important, and the flow rate is a square. So you can reduce it just by addressing a little bit of technology and applying these drives as they are. These are state-of-the-art drives. These are the 800 series drives in terms of what they have available inside them to save you energy. And I'm hoping we've just started these up that we'll be able to actually run the sequence and actually demonstrate that a little bit later. So as Mitsubishi, so as a company, and to give you some idea, does anybody know, guess, okay, who's used PLCs before? Who knows what a PLC is? Mechanical engineers? No? You do.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. I need enthusiasm here, guys. So who's used a PLC?
That haven't, we can put them in the classroom.
Yeah, please step into the classroom. So a PLC is a programmable logic controller, and what it does, you wire inputs and outputs, and you write the logic to control the inputs and outputs based on some control logic. So if the high level is up in a tank, switch the pump off. If the low level comes on, start the pump, fill the tank, or whatever you need to do. So that logic is the same, and of course there are competitors out there, the likes of the Siemens, Schneider, Rockwell, and Mitsubishi. And those are probably the big four in the world today. Mitsubishi are the largest manufacturer of PLCs by volume in the world, producing over 100. Anybody else? Okay. I'd like a guess from anybody. How many PLCs do you think Mitsubishi make a month in Japan? Who's going to give me a guess? 500,000. Okay, that's a little bit too much. 160,000 PLCs a month. That's 160,000 new controllers going into the world a month. That is, I didn't think that was the world market when I first met Mitsubishi. And how many drives do you think Mitsubishi have made since they started making them, I think in the 1950s, I guess, 1950, 1960, 1970s. They've sold more than 19 million drives. 19 million drives. And the technology, the price has come down to the point where it really, there's a very easy way of, these days, in trying to justify putting a drive in compared to like a star delta starter or a soft starter. you know, the flexibility and the energy saving capability you get from a drive is quite unique in its technology. So I urge you to really look at that. You know, that's where you can save energy. You can monitor it, and also if you can't measure it, you can't fix it. Okay. You can't monitor it or measure it, you cannot fix it. It's a bit like my bank account. If I can't see how much is in there, I spend it till it runs out. Whereas now it's very easy to go and have a look and see what my balance is. I can control the way I spend my money. I can't control my wife, and that's impossible, but certainly I can control myself. I just have to work harder to put more in. Right, so, and of course, on top of these things, you in the factories, you may see panels like this on machines. And what that is, it really is showing you what's happening on the machine. And then on top of that, you get SCADA systems or human machine interfaces, HMI systems. And what they do is they allow you to connect two PLCs, which in turn are measuring statuses and allow you to represent the status of the plant to your operator and to be able to alarm. And what are we doing that for? We are trying to understand and preempt when there are problems so that our operators and our technicians can get out there and fix the problem and get the machine going quickly. Again, it's about driving more efficiency. And if we don't drive more efficiency, we are going to get eaten by the Chinese. All of us. So our job is really to look at ways of taking this knowledge that you learn through Centurion, learn at Varsity, learn at technical college, learn it wherever you're studying, and to apply this. And I urge you that you will find PLCs and drives in every single industry in the market. Trains, monitoring trains, monitoring water processes, monitoring cell phone networks. One of our big customers is MTN. We are doing and have won the platform of choice for machine to machine across Africa with MTN, and whether it's monitoring high sites, we monitor for Eskom, who is the same as KenGen. We monitor more than 1,600 high sites for their communications backbone, all coming back to a central SCADA system. So the products are well designed for big systems as well as small systems. And the way we sell it is that you can start small and you can grow. So these systems are typically sold by how many points do you need to talk to, how much information are you fetching from the PLC. So you can buy a 30, what we call a 30 scan point system that allows you to talk to 30 pieces of information for a small system, up to an unlimited redundant cluster to handle large mission critical systems. And they're all very well priced from that perspective. And again, it's not necessarily about the cost, it's the cost of not having them and the cost of being able to keep your factory going or keep your communications going. What is the cost of dropping a tower in terms of being able to monitor the diesel generators and theft, for example? I'll give you some idea. I was with MTN, we're trying to solve a problem with it. I think they've lost, one of the big telcos, 300 million rands worth of batteries in the last 5 years. Stolen. They can't solve that problem. So we're looking at using different battery technology, because if you use lead acid, people steal lead acid. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy world out there, that we have to use technology to combat not only enhancing production, but for security, for that matter. And we're doing a lot of that sort of work in SA and around the world. We export our software to more than 13 countries, everywhere from Australia through to Canada, all into Europe. So we've sold more than 20,000 licenses of our product around the world. And we've been in the business for 26 years. So there's not much you can teach us about industrial automation. And we're here to support Kevin and the Centurion Systems team to get out there and start selling systems through people like yourselves, who should be the innovators and using off-the-shelf technology to go and solve the world's problems. So it's about choosing a sensor, a PLC visualization system that matches your requirements in terms of doing some monitoring.